Next on Worcester News tonight, addressing racial inequities in the Worcester Public School District. Administrators give an update on their efforts. Plus, in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, the Worcester County Veterans Moving Wall is on display at the City Senior Center. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. A chilly Friday with temperatures dropping into the low 30s. Fortunately, the rest of the weekend won't be as cold. Let's get a first look at our local forecast for more. Hey there, good evening to you. I'm meteorologist Pamela Gardner. We've had some flurries that have stuck around all day and our temperatures have been awfully cold, but the wind chill was a huge factor again this afternoon, and we will continue to see the wind chill a factor tonight as temperatures fall into the 20s and teens in some parts of central Massachusetts. A few clouds still in the forecast this evening, and we drop into the mid-20s overnight tonight, but down to 21 for that low in Worcester. Some outlying communities in the teens, and we have a widespread hard mosquito-killing freeze across all of southern New England, as temperatures will be in the 20s for everyone. Starting off awfully chilly, but then tomorrow we modify the temperatures just a bit, in the 30s to low 40s thanks to some sun, and already feeling a little better thanks to less wind. And that wind direction does change more from the southwest tomorrow as opposed to that northwest Arctic air mass for today. Less wind for Saturday, milder air on Sunday. We could get in the low 50s. And then next week we're tracking another storm that could bring a similar weather pattern to us, with the snow changing mix to rain and then snow. And it's very interesting with the Arctic air mass again expected for midweek. I'll show you the 10-day in just a few minutes. Worcester school administrators are updating their efforts on a 14-step action plan. It's aimed at addressing racial inequities in the district, but some feel enough isn't being done. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now to explain. Chandler.
Olivia, the 14 steps were added to the superintendent's new contract months ago. Some have been met, such as hiring a diversity officer, but a local equity group wants to see more progress be made.
It's turned into, a nightmare.
Some community members aren't satisfied with the Worcester Public Schools' progress with diversity efforts. The Worcester Coalition for Education Equity says the conversation around racial inequities in the district has spiraled.
At no time did we expect, this pushback. It's so incredible. And then we started pushing back, and it's turned out to be a thing of people have dug in their trenches.
Several of the 14 diversity points added to the superintendent's latest contract are in progress or complete. School committee member Diana Biancaria says the district needs to work on many things in addition to these points, like safety and vocational education.
Yes, we look at the 14 points, but we also have priorities that our constituents bring to us. And when you have 200 to 300 kids waiting to get into one school site, you have to make that a priority and make some adjustments.
The coalition called for Superintendent Maureen Benendez firing months ago. They want to fix the education gap between minority students and their peers and deal with a high rate of minority emergency removals. Member Jose Perez says the coalition doesn't want to blame one person and instead wants to help the students.
Why can't we focus on the children in the system? They're being adversely affected for years, even before she came into the system.
Biancaria says the district is looking for solutions. She says it's a group effort between the district, city, and legislatures.
We continue to look for the best solution that is beneficial to every student in Worcester Public Schools. Not a particular group of students, but every student.
The coalition wants to see the district release their data on suspensions and emergency removals. School committee member Biancaria says the data will allow them to see which areas and which schools need to be improved. In Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
An update on the case against a driver accused of killing a state trooper. A judge will deliver the verdict in the David Njugunda trial Tuesday. Prosecutors say Njugunda was driving high when he hit Trooper Thomas Clardy 3 years ago on the Mass Pike. This is a bench trial, so a judge will make the final ruling. A moving wall lists the names of all Worcester County veterans who were killed in the Vietnam War. Today, the moving piece stopped by the Worcester Senior Center as part of their Veterans Day ceremony. Our Matt Restino has more.
The Worcester Senior Center hosted its annual Veterans Day ceremony today, featuring the Worcester County Vietnam Veterans Moving Wall.
Because what they did is they sacrificed a lot of their time when they were young. Some of them, well, as you can see, some of them sacrificed more. They give up their life.
It's an opportunity to meet veterans, learn about their experiences, and thank them for their service. Worcester Veterans Services Director Edward O'Connor says it's great to have events bringing veterans together.
A lot of those guys, they have history and knowledge that I think really needs to be passed on. So this is really a good chance to talk with some of them, learn some of their lessons in the military, but also thank them for those really hard times.
This year marks 50 years since the Vietnam War. The moving wall lists the names of all Worcester County veterans who were killed in the war. Vietnam veteran Philip Medallo says these events are important for teaching people about the conflict.
There's 2 paragraphs in the history book about Vietnam War. What's that tell you? So everybody tries to forget it. I mean, when you come home, they told you not to wear your uniform.
It was not a very warm welcome, so to have the chance today to say thank you and appreciate, and listen to Phil and his story is really impressive.
Junior ROTC cadets from Assabet Valley Tech presented the colors at the ceremony. Sergeant Major Tracy Lynch says events like these help the cadets connect with veterans and leave a lasting impact.
These cadets will be talking about this for not only weeks or days, they'll talk about it the whole year, about certain veterans that they met.
5th grade students from the Union Hill School also attended the ceremony. Medallo says he appreciates the opportunity to educate kids about veterans and service.
Just to let them know what it's all about. That's why they could have something like this today.
Medallo helps maintain the Vietnam Memorial at Green Hill Park. He also helps organize school trips to the site and shares his experiences with the kids. In the studio, Matt Restino, Worcester News Tonight.
Veterans Inc. is gearing up for its annual Veterans Day Pancake Breakfast. This is the 25th year Veterans Inc. is hosting the event. The breakfast is free and open to the public. The organization is expecting roughly 300 people at this year's celebration. It's all a part of their mission to support those who served.
Veterans Day for us is every day. We always are grateful for everyone who has served for their service. It's our way of saying thank you. And to have the whole community come join us in doing that is just a wonderful thing.
The breakfast will be from 11 to 8 Monday morning. New today, dozens of Sears and Kmart locations are set to close their doors locally this winter, including the Sears at the Auburn Mall. Our Erin Keating has more.
This Sears store at the Auburn Mall has been a fixture for years now. The company's owner, Transformco, announced Thursday this is one of the 96 Sears and Kmart stores closing. Transformco, which was used to buy the chains out of bankruptcy earlier this year, said in a statement the stores chose to close in the face of a difficult retail environment and other challenges. Going out of business signs are set to be up by December of this year. All 96 locations are expected to be closed by February 2020. In Auburn, Erin Keating, Worcester News Tonight.
The results are in for the Worcester Fire Department's annual holiday food and toy drive. The department held the drive Monday. They collected 3 full boxes of toys, food, and $3,200 in cash. The Firefighters Union also donated 80 turkeys to the cause. The donations will go to the Worcester County Food Bank, Salvation Army, and Toys for Tots. An annual event helps increase knowledge of homelessness and its impact on the community. About a dozen area high schools and more than 200 students were in attendance for the 9th annual Visions of Change Youth Summit Friday. The keynote speaker for the event was Liz Murray, author of many books including My Journey from Homeless to Harvard. She discussed her personal experience and says she hopes her story can be useful to the students.
When I lost my parents to drug addiction and AIDS, when I was living on the streets as an adolescent in New York City, I became almost hopeless. And so the fact of the matter is that public education, teachers, mentors changed my life. It caused me to realize I didn't have to give up.
Murray is currently working on the Arthur Project, which is an organization bringing mentors to middle schools in the Bronx. Visitors at Tower Hill Botanic Garden may notice a few new friends for the month of November. They're hosting their Gnomevember event, where people get a chance to search for lost garden gnomes throughout the garden. Our Valerie Bell stopped by the Boylston venue today. She joins us with more. Valerie.
Olivia, yeah, let me tell you, it's actually pretty fun. You get to go around and take a map and go and count all the gnomes. I was told there's close to 300 of them, but honestly, I stopped counting after about 4. But today I caught up with some families there and they got in on all the action.
It's November, or should I say Gnomevember. The Tower Hill Botanic Garden is holding a month-long event where gnomes are scattered all over the garden.
Gnomevember is all about enchantment, running out into the gardens, looking for the gnomes hidden all over the place.
This is their first year holding the scavenger hunt, and so far they say it's been a success.
Somebody said, let's do Gnomevember as a joke, and then we were like, no, that's a really good idea. Let's do it. And everybody loves gnomes, so that's kind of how it evolved.
Now, how this works is pretty fun. You get one of these maps, and you're supposed to walk around and count all of the gnomes.
My sister has been counting them a couple times. There was a whole parade of them, and there was 41. We saw 331.
You counted all of those?
Yes.
The gnomes came in different colors, shapes, and sizes. Some were even caught napping on the job.
I liked seeing all the gnomes set up in cool poses.
Tower Hill hosts many activities which bring families out to the exhibit.
And we all had the day off, so we decided to come out.
The Gnomevember activity is in addition to Tower Hill's annual light show.
It's hard to find outdoor stuff to do when the weather gets a little bit colder, but this fit the bill.
Despite the strong winds and even a little bit of snow, this didn't stop families from participating.
Even though it was cold, it was really fun.
Now, although this is the first year for Gnomevember, Jessica Peterson says they are looking to continue the event in years to come. Reporting in the studio, Valerie Bell, Worcester News Tonight.